to give everyone a moment to pile in here. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is the MotoQuest seminar on riding Patagonia. We have two of us here today. Myself, I'm Dax Harlow. Brief introduction about me. I am the facility manager here in Portland, Oregon, and I also do some of the trade shows for MotoQuest, and I've hosted several of these webinars now at this point. With me, I have the star of the show here, the founder of MotoQuest, Mr. Phil Freeman. He is our main guide, particularly for Patagonia, and he's going to be the one presenting this webinar to you all. A couple of brief notes here before we get started in earnest. We are a man down today. Typically, this is a three-man crew. We have myself, Phil, and then the general manager of the company, Brendan Anders. Brendan is out sick today, so just bear with us a little bit if we're a little slow to answer questions or we have a technical hiccup here or there. We are a little light on the crew today, so appreciate your patience there with that.
Hey, Dax, if I wanted to ask a question and I was watching the webinar, how do I do it?
Yep, great question. Good way to ask us questions is to throw it in the chat. The chat is going to be the best way to do that. And what'll happen is Phil's presenting, I'll wait until there's 2 or 3 really good questions in the chat, at which point I'll interrupt Phil, throw the questions out to him so you can get a good answer, and then he'll resume with his presentation. Several of you, we got emails, several of you asked about recording. We are recording the webinar so that if you have to dip out early or you come in late or you're just not able to be here at all, there will be a recording available later on our YouTube channel so that you're still able to watch this at your leisure. To Phil's point, we encourage you to ask questions. Please ask questions at any point. Like I said, throw them in the chat, and we'll wait till a couple of them build up, and then we'll respond. We will also send out an email after this is all said and done, just saying, hey, thank you for being here, and we appreciate any feedback you could give us. This is our 3rd webinar now that we've done. We're really excited about them. We really enjoy doing them, but we are fairly new at this. So any feedback you guys have for us to help us improve our game for the next one is absolutely appreciated. So with that being said, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you, Dax. Hey, everyone. Hey, I'm coming in live from Girdwood, Alaska. Yeah, I've got 24 inches of snow, and it's below 0 out there or just above. And we're going to talk about Patagonia today, and I'm pretty excited about it. First, I'd like to start with a quote. I like this one. Whether life is short or long, all we possess is the present, and all that matters is what we do in it. I'm excited to present to you a little bit about Patagonia. We offer 2 different trips there, and they are unique in and of themselves, and they're both fantastic. One is more of an adventure, and the other one is more of pick the daisies and take pictures and do site activities. And of the 2, both of them are awesome. I helped design both of them, and I've led both of them. And so I'll show you some photos, and you guys can ask some questions, and we'll get to it. First of all, I'd like to just say that I've traveled quite a bit down in Patagonia. I've spent months, almost years down there. I've led both of these trips several times, many times. And I was inspired by a 6-week trip with some friends, and we spent 6 weeks out of Argentina, Buenos Aires, and we did 6 weeks and 6,000 miles, and we went all the way down and camped and got in adventures, and it really inspired me to put something together for MotoQuest. And so we're running this trip every year, and I want to, first of all, I want to take you to the end of the earth. So I want to say that we offer 2 different trips. One is Patagonia End of the Earth Adventure, and the other one is the Northern Patagonia Explorer. And with no further ado, we are going to go all the way down South America to the end of the road with the Patagonia End of the Earth adventure. And as you can see, it can get a little windy there, and that will be one of your themes when you're doing this trip. And please forgive me. I was lucky enough to catch a little bit of the crud when I came back, so I'm going to do my best to not cough or anything like that. Just bear with me on this. Okay, so Patagonia. You want to go to Patagonia, huh? And you want to go to the end of the earth? Um, let's do it. We offer this ride every year. It's 15 days of riding, 17 if you tack on a day before and day after. And this is the basic itinerary. Excuse me. Um, you can see that you're going in and out of Argentina and Chile all the way down. You get to experience both cultures, both types of food, wine, gauchos, roads, and environments. It's not too much unlike the Pacific Northwest in that the western side of the Andes is verdant and green and rain-soaked, and on the eastern side of the Andes, it turns into high plains, dry, almost desert, and vast expanses, and that's Patagonia. And we start in what you would call northern Patagonia or the Lakes District, somewhere near the cow town of Osorno or Puerto Varas, right on Lago Yanquihue, which is one of the larger freshwater lakes in the Lakes District on the Chilean side. So basically, you fly down to Santiago, and then you do a domestic flight even further south. We come get you, and we go find some motorcycles, and we go have a good time. Excuse me for a second. All right. So you want to go to Patagonia, you want to go all the way down. There's 6 border crossings. It's 15 days, like I said, and you're constantly changing environments, and you're seeing a great theme. But who are you going to go with? Well, excuse me. When you go with MotoQuest, you're going to go with people from all over the world. They're going to come from a variety of backgrounds, from pilots to accountants to lawyers to doctors to never-do-wells to always on the move or never done this before. And they're fun-loving people, and they're adventurous, and they're like you. And what are you going to get when you go with us? You're going to get support. We're going to have a truck and a mechanic the whole time. And if something goes a little sideways, we got your back. And you're going to be out in literally the most sparsely populated regions of South America or anywhere. And it's nice to have a little bit of help out there. And what are you going to see? You're going to see a lot of expanse. You're going to see wet and dry. You're going to be hit by crosswinds on gravel, just like this, and that's no joke. There are 3 tours that we offer at MotoQuest where we call you immediately when you register, and we try to suss out if you really know what you're doing, if you really belong on that trip, because it's not for everybody. It's challenging. It's a notch on the belt, and it is a sense of fulfillment to go all the way down to a goal. And if you're that type of rider, this is going to be your cup of tea. If you are not that type of rider, this is not your trip. Although it is really awesome, but you might want to do it on a 4x4 or something like that. And this is a picture of the vast expanses of Route 40, which probably doesn't mean anything to you. To some of you, it does. But after you ride Route 40, it means a lot. And this is in Argentina. And there's other reasons to go. This is on the Chilean side, but oh my, how beautiful is that? Wouldn't you like to wind down your day overlooking a wild, clear, freshwater lake with glaciers in the background? That is off of the Carretera Austral, which is the Chilean version of the Route 40, which makes its way all the way down as far as it can go on the Chilean side, and you will be seeing stuff like that. Excuse me. All right. Okay, let's get into food because why not? What are you going to be eating? Well, if you like beef or meat trains, I don't think you can beat Chile or Argentina. There's a platter. It's got all the proteins, almost all of them. This is your basic fare that you'll get at some trucker stop or anywhere. A slab of meat, maybe some eggs on it, a caballo, or some French fries. And then if you haven't had enough carbs, you can have some bread as well. And of course, wash it down with a nice beer or local wine. The farther you go down, you can get South America's version of king crab. Oh, yummy it is. You can get this, especially in Ushuaia. And there's salmon along the way on the Chilean side and the Argentinian side, all the way down to Tierra del Fuego. Curry once in a while would be nice. Yep. Yum.
Hey, Phil, got a couple of questions that have built up here in the chat, man. Uh,
Sure.
One of which is Jeff was asking us, man, I'm assuming he means Americans, do we need visas for Chile or Argentina?
No, not at all. You're good to go.
Okay, perfect. And then I got Lee in the chat asking if you had to ballpark the percentage of paved versus gravel for this trip, what would you ballpark that at?
For the end of the earth, we say 40%, although they're constantly paving it. So it used to be more, and now it's less. So I think 40% is that's a good measure.
Okay. And then I got Ian is asking about the technicality of the riding. How would you compare it to, say, like the Dempster or the Dalton Highway?
Oh, it's up there. It's a different kind of challenge. It's not a technical ride in that you're not doing single track and trying to get over boulders and stream crossings all day. However, it's an endurance sort of challenge, and the crosswind is no joke. There is a day that the wind machine starts, and it's right around where we stay at a certain estancia in Argentina, and it doesn't let up for days. And it'll smack you from the side on gravel, on roly-poly gravel, pea gravel, up to 50, 60 miles an hour winds. And that's no joke. It's usually a constant 30 to 40 mile an hour wind. A good day is when it's not like that, but it is challenging. You work your way into the ruts of the road. They don't grade it very often. And it is harrowing sometimes, to be honest. This is a true adventure. And so you need to have your off-road skills. You need to know to get on your pegs, maybe stand up, accelerate, drop a gear, that kind of stuff. So this is definitely not an all paved affair. This is a real challenge. It can be, depending on the weather.
Perfect. Okay. And then I had Robert asking another question about the border crossings. How cumbersome are the border crossings back and forth between Chile and Argentina? How much
Yeah.
time does it take per crossing, if you could even estimate something like that?
Yeah, they're not particularly easy. They can take you want to budget about an hour and a half mentally. They can take 3 hours. They can take a half an hour. It
Mm,
depends on the locality, what's going on politically. Excuse me. It depends on how they're staffed, when you get there, who's in front of you. What we do is greatly facilitate that by having all the paperwork ready to go. We get you in what line you need to be. There's three of them, and we get you through. And they're used to seeing our fixers, so we're no stranger to it. And they see a group come up, they know exactly what we need to do. So
perfect. Okay. And then I had Jay asking how much traffic is typical for this route?
traffic's not a factor.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I've had actually a couple of people already pop up in the chat and ask, how many miles a day, how many hours of riding are in a typical day?
Sure. I'm going to toggle through food as I answer.
Yep.
We're doing generally about 180 miles a day to 200 plus. We're generally getting on the road about 8 or 9 in the morning, and we're getting in about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. We're stopping once an hour. and there's a border crossing, so we usually budget for that as well. So you'll have enough time to get into your lodge and get on the internet and catch up on personal or business, and then go out to dinner and check out the town and stuff like that.
Okay, sure. And then I got one more question here from Dave. Do you need proof of rescue slash emergency insurance to enter Argentina?
No, negative. If you go with our crew, what we're going to do is we're going to automatically enroll you with Global Rescue. So that's an extraction service. It's not an insurance, but it gets you back to help, even back to the United States, no questions asked, and you don't have to pay for it.
Perfect. Okay. And then I got one more here before we wrap up with the questions in this segment here. I got Mirik asking in the chat. Sounds like he did the Northern Patagonia trip last year, 2 up. Would this also be a trip that would be doable with a pillion?
For certain riders only.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. That's it for now. Thanks.
All right. You bet. Yeah, that's lamb. We're going to have several meals with you that are traditionally cooked like this. It's just a real treat, especially when they're done by gauchos. Oh, back to chicken. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going backwards. Oh, how about that sandwich? That's a nice one. Breaded beef and a foot long. Not sure Subway's doing that one yet. A little bit of a hamburger situation. Now that's an original pizza. I don't know if you do this one at home. And then, oh yeah, steak. Yes. And to wash it all down, you're never going to be short of really good wine. It doesn't matter what side of the border you're on. Really good food, organic. So you're starting your trip. You're in the Osorno, Puerto Varas area. You're looking at really large lakes. That's Yanquihue with Osorno volcano in the background. You're excited. You get your bikes in front of you and you head out. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Argentina. You're going to have two different types of pesos. We're going to have ATMs on both sides where you can get your cash. And yeah, let's head right into the Andes. And the first night on the road, we're going to be in Bariloche, which is known as the Switzerland of South America. It's got a good wood feel there. It's a pretty vibrant city there now. It's got a ski resort there, huge lakes, and it's beautiful. Not a bad place to stay. We handpick them along the way. Excuse me. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Bariloche area. It's absolutely gorgeous. After Bariloche, we head south, and now we're going to start getting into more and more rustic roads, unpaved. You're going to lose the population, the traffic, and you're going to be out in the mountains and freshwater rivers and lakes and glaciated mountains. We do a detour through Alerces National Park. Alerces is a type of tree which is billed as one of the oldest living organisms in the world. And there's a neat dirt road that goes through the park. You even have a gratuitous water crossing. Hey, how fun is that? And we end up in the town of Esquel, and then we cross back over into Chile. And again, we're going down the Carretera Austral. This is a lunch spot we have just north of Coyhaique. And it's hard not to fall in love with southern Chile. It's agrarian, it's quiet, it's beautiful. Most of your roads are going to be dirt surface. I like to fish personally, so I see something like this and I just linger. Beautiful rivers, really friendly people. And we outfit the bikes so that you have more of an aggressive dirt style tire. And the traffic is horrible. There's so many. Okay, wait a minute. Those are horses. Yeah, that's what you'll see coming around a corner. They're just hanging out. Yep. That's a busy traffic afternoon on the Carretera Austral, Puyuhuapi area. And you're going to be running into gauchos all the way down. they're on the Chilean side and Argentinian side. They usually got their best buddy with them. This is south of Coyhaique, and it's just gorgeous. The further south you go on the Carretera Austral, the more beautiful it gets. We haven't quite turned on the wind machine yet. You're several days into the ride, and you're seeing stuff like this. There's it goes on and on and on. That's a good example of what kind of road you'll be riding. And like I said, we handpick some interesting places, the nicest place available when we can. And we do stay usually at a functioning estancia as well, which it's not particularly comfortable in that sometimes you have to share a room, but you get a really good, authentic meal, and you're on a working estancia in the middle of a vast expanse of landscape. This is on the Chilean side. You're headed towards Argentina on this day, and you're going to start getting into, you're going to have a chance to see guanacos, condors, fox, flamingos, and then it turns dry on the Argentinian side. And this is when you're in, you're in Patagonia. This goes on for days. It's beautiful in its own way, just wide open country. And you can tell these guys are tilted because there is about a 35-mile-an-hour crosswind. Excuse me. And this is a shot. I love this shot taken by Bill. Thanks, Bill. This is of the estancia we stay at. This is what you look over as you walk to dinner. And it's just timeless lifestyle out there. Brian Rathjen took that. Thank you, Brian. And they fix a meal out there that's authentic. And you continue down the Argentinian side. We're on our way to Calafate now. And we're going to have a 2-night stay in Calafate. Some of it's paved, some of it's dirt. And in Calafate, you have a day ride and you can go out to Perito Moreno Glacier. And that's that iconic glacier that you see in all the photos. And you have all day to go out there on your own and just check it out. Yeah. And the road continues on. By this time in the trip, you realize that, wow, it's big out there. And it doesn't seem to stop. Excuse me. Now we're getting close to Puerto Natales. And this is a beautiful part of Chile. And we're going to spend 2 days in the Puerto Natales area so that you can go into Torres del Paine National Park. And that is an epic park. And you're going to see all sorts of wildlife in there. And it's gorgeous. There's dirt roads that crisscross the park. We have a route that we usually take. We go in one way of the park, travel all around it, have lunch out there, and then come back out another exit, and you get to just enjoy it, explore it, and it's epic. And if you get there a little bit in the afternoon, it seems to clear off. You can see those actual towers up there, which are on the far left there. Yeah, it's definitely to put on the bucket list.
Got a couple more questions for you, Phil, if you got a minute here, man.
Let's
They're
do
coming in hot and heavy.
I'm not busy. Go for it.
Talk to me about, if someone's vegan, right? They don't eat meat, fish, eggs, dairy, etc. Are they going to have a hard time on this trip, or are they going to have some dining options?
They just need to let us know, and then we'll get back in the restaurants and we'll get the vegetables rolling.
Okay, cool. So they can definitely get by on this.
Yeah, you can get by.
A lot of questions about, what's the typical range of temperatures for the trip? What's the temperature average, likelihood of precipitation while you're on the trip? Could you just kind of linger on what the weather's like while you're riding?
Yeah, it's gonna basically be between 60 degrees and 75 degrees. And you're going to have more rain on the western side of the Andes. So you could bank on 2 to 3 days out of the week is going to be at least a mild shower. But when you're on the Argentinian side, you're not going to get any rain. So I'd say it's safe to say more than half the trip is without rain.
Okay. And then are you, got another question here from Jeff. Are you riding on the right or the left-hand side of the road?
These are all South America is the right-hand side. So
Easy enough. I had Carl in here asking about, the group rides. Is everybody in one group with lead follow? Are riders given a destination and key stops? Could you talk a little bit about kind of what the group riding dynamics are like on our trips?
this is a good question. First day, we're all together because we're going to learn each other. And we need to do a border crossing. Any border crossing day, you need to stay together because the paperwork and the bikes need to cross at the same time with the luggage. No questions. Now, depending on your riding style and your independence level and your competency, we'll let people with a looser leash. But generally, we stay with a lead rider and they set the pace and the stops. And the riders can spread out behind the lead rider. We don't like to just tell somebody they need to stay with us every day, but in this particular instance, since we have border crossings, that's not negotiable. We need to go across the border together. Some days, like the free ride days, Calafate, Torres del Paine, you can do it on your own. And so you can find a little bit of freedom. You're in Ushuaia. We have 2 night stay there as well, and you can go ride around. The guide will line you out with where, the cool things to see, and then see you back. No news is good news. See you back at the hotel. We'll have dinner at a certain time or whatever if you want to join us. And you're no obligations to join the dinners either, but either there's no other option to eat or it's kind of nice to just unwind and talk about the day if everyone else has split up that day and they want to just recount the day.
Awesome. Okay. I got Murray here asking about, how much should someone budget for gas and food, and also just kind of what are the accommodations like on the trip?
Accommodations, they range from basic, like that one place that we stay in the middle of nowhere, which is an estancia. It's pretty basic. And then we stay at others that are 4-star. Just you got a pool and a bar, and it's comfortable, and you got a view out the front. So mostly we stay at nicer places, but sometimes you just have to prepare that one night's going to be pretty Spartan, and that's part of the deal. That's Patagonia. What was the other question you asked? There was something else in there.
It was the accommodations. Oh, and then what should they budget for food and fuel?
Right. Generally, what we'll do is we'll put together a gas kitty, and everybody throws in a couple $100, and then that goes as far as it does, and then we pump up the kitty again, and it saves a lot of time to just open up that pump and just have everybody cycle through. And that being said, that can happen for lunches too in remote places where it's just the same menu and it doesn't really matter, and it saves a lot of time. I would say $125 a day will get you gas and food. If you're a wine drinker, throw on another 20, and that should get you on your daily expenses.
Okay, perfect. Clark is asking how many bikes are typically in a group?
We won't take MotoQuest does not take more than 12. We've taken more, but only for custom groups, or we've let people know ahead of time what to expect. But we have been known to take as little as 6 and as many as 12. Our bread basket usually is somewhere between 8 and 10. Those are our group sizes. We don't want to do more than 12. We're not that brand. We want to keep it a little bit more intimate, and we want your experience to be better.
Perfect. I got Marcus here in the chat. Looks like he rode with us in 2016. Always nice to see a MotoQuest alumni here. Looks like he rode Alaska with us. He's got kind of a multi-part question here. His first part of it is what's the security climate like in Chile and Argentina? What is our local fixer riding with the group? You can kind of touch on that.
Oh, okay. Well, we always send one of our own as the guide. They're bilingual. And we send generally the fixer, also the local will be the driver. And They will be fluent in English, and security is a non-factor. Um, those bikes aren't going anywhere. If you have a Chilean plated bike, it's not going to get stolen in Argentina. There's nowhere they can go with it. They can't take it back to Chile. They can't sell it. They can't. We've never had any issues. And you're so remote most of the time. It's laughable to think that someone's going to steal it. We go through the bikes every night, and make sure that they're right mechanically. And so we're on top of it. And our locals there know the temperature of the room in terms of security, and there is no issue.
Awesome. He also asked about emergency medical evacuation. Part of that's included with us in our tour packages. Do you recommend any additional medical insurance?
You could go with Global Entry or, I mean, Global Rescue, or there's others out there, but they all offer about the same package about extraction. You might want to look into your travel insurance just to make sure you're covered. And if anything should happen out on the road, this is what we do. So we're going to get you to the fastest way safely to a hospital, an airport, and get you back to welcoming arms back home.
Yeah. He also asked, do we recommend any trip cancellation insurance? I think I can confidently say yes. We always recommend.
Yeah, and you're not gonna. We're in the motorcycle tour business, and travel insurance. There's many. There's like Travel Guard and others, and Google will reference a good one for you. There might be one through your credit card, and we always tell people to do that because you don't know if you have to cancel. Especially after you get really close to the date. So we highly recommend you take travel insurance.
Yeah. He asked about weather, rain, foul gear, extra boots, etc. I think we covered that. Yeah, you should
Yeah.
absolutely bring that. Group size we already touched on. Available bikes. Could you talk about what kind of bikes or motorcycles are available on this tour?
Generally BMWs from the 750s all the way to the 1300s. It depends on the year. It can change. I suggest you check out our website because it can change on the month. We've been known to have Africa Twins and Motorinis and other types, all dual sport chassis. But check our website.
Okay. And then just two more questions here, and we can get rolling again here. Just a lot of good questions coming in here. I want to address all these. Appreciate you guys being so involved and participating here with us. So David asked, sounds like he's already got 2 adventure bikes down there. Can he join and ride his own bikes and save a little bit of money on the trip?
Yeah, no issue with us. However, look at the devil in the details. So make sure that you have your paperwork lined up so you can do those border crossings.
Yep. Okay. And then I got Peter here asking about communication devices, Cardos, Sennas, that kind of thing, rider to rider. Is that encouraged? Do we have a position on that?
I'm indifferent. I'm not going to use it. Our guides won't be using them. Though, if you want to with your buddy, absolutely have at it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, and then last one here, and then we'll get rolling. Could you just touch on elevation changes? Are there
There's not
many?
much. There's not much to speak of. You're going to go up to maybe 2,500, 3,000 feet when you go over the Andes. It's not much. It's not an issue.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. That was all for now.
All right, we're still in Torres del Paine. I just want to show you a couple more photos of the beauty there, and it's a must. And now we're headed south, and it doesn't mean the wind has gotten any less. You're going to have sections of pavement as we're getting on a main route. Here's a place along the Straits of Magellan. We like to have a sack lunch. I think some of you might have been here, and if you go on our trip, you're going to get to know the Amadeo personally. It's right next to an abandoned estancia. Pretty whimsical out there. And now you're crossing the Straits of Magellan. You're going to Tierra del Fuego. How cool is that? You ever thought you'd go there? These guys will pick you up. You load on the ferry and go across. Now you're on the land of fire. And also has a nice welcoming sign that a trucker hit. And Tierra del Fuego it's a little moody. It starts out kind of roly-poly, and no forest and windswept. And you're making your way all the way to the south. A lot of gaucho activity there. The gaucho index is high. And the traffic sheep index is high. And if you ask one of those gauchos about their dogs, they'll say that one good dog is as good as 3 men on horses to herd sheep. And then if you thought you were done with the Andes, you're not. Right before you get to Ushuaia, the Andes rise up one more time to let you know how beautiful they are. Or at least, if they're not part of the Andes, it's nice to think that they're cousins of the Andes. And we end up in Ushuaia. This is as far south as you can go on Route 3, all the way down. It's a major shipping and trading port, has even a ski resort. We stayed 2 nights here. And you can actually ride all the way down to the end of Route 3. Mind you, it's still windy. Yep. And during your free day there, you can ride all the way to the end of Route 3, or check out Penguin Colony. It seems to be very popular, and they're so cute. And that is the sign. And Alaska is 17,848 kilometers from there. And you are at the end of the line. Here is a post office that is during that day, and it's the furthest southern post office in all of South America. And you can get a stamp from there. You can send some postcards to your buddies. And then we have 2 more days to get back to wrap up the trip, right back up to the ferry at the tip of Tierra del Fuego. More traffic, more ferry, and then a buzz into Punta Arenas. It's really fascinating to check out the cemetery there, by the way. There's a lot of history there. And then there you are, farewell dinner, the bunch of well-traveled adventurers from all over, and you made it. And now your mission is to do whatever you do after the trip, fly home. So you fly in to northern Patagonia and you fly out from southern Patagonia. And that is that trip, the Patagonia end of the earth. And now let's switch gears. Excuse me.
Perfect. So we're going to wrap up the Patagonia end of the earth part of the presentation. So if you have any questions that are specific to this trip, go and throw them in the chat before we move on to the other Patagonia trip that we offer. That's a different flavor. I do have a couple in here that are already queued up. Phil, Carl is asking, can you talk about where to fly into and out of for the trip? What airports should they be looking at?
Yeah, your best bet is Puerto Montt to fly into, and then you got to fly out of Punta Arenas.
Okay.
And there's major regional airports in both of those cities.
I have Robert in the chat. He is asking, you mentioned like the 30 to 50 mile an hour crosswind, gravel roads with ruts in it. He says he's a strong rider, but he's a bit nervous about the crosswinds with gravel and ruts. Can you just talk a little bit about, kind of what the speeds you're doing are and how people seem to handle that?
Yeah. Speed is variable. You do want to keep your torque. I'm not sure how fast you're going. It depends on the wind. You want to have your weight on your pegs, and you're going to get blown around. That's what you're asking for when you go down there. And it can blow you from one rut over pea gravel into the next rut. And that is common. It's not uncommon. And I've had riders get blown off the road and they get back on the road again. It is challenging. I will do it again. And I enjoy that kind of stuff, but I'm not specifically a very technical rider. I can ride, but I enjoy the travel element of it. But I don't think you need to be a black belt on off-road stuff. It's just that I would highly recommend that you take an off-road course if you haven't. And you're cruising along from 40 to 50 miles an hour, and you're getting gusts from the side, and you're just keeping your line, and you're weathering that. It's not. I don't know if I'd call it. Well, it's enjoyable, but to certain people. That's what I would say.
Perfect. Jeff's in here asking about, is there an option to rent the bike for longer, i.e., ride back from Chile? So maybe take the end of the earth tour down to Ushuaia with us and then head back north on your own?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. What type of money do they need once they arrive?
There's two kinds of pesos there. There's Chilean and Argentinian, and you can get them from ATMs. Generally, you can get them. I'd like to say you can get them from your banks, but the Argentinian pesos might be a little bit harder to get before you get there. But once we get into Bariloche that first day, there's ATMs all over the place, and you can get them if you bring cash. Make sure that you don't have any marks on them, and they don't accept all the cash bills because they'll just reject them out of nowhere. But there are cash houses there, and then as you go, the guide, and this is one of the things about MotoQuest, is that you're going to be in direct contact with your guide 60 days before the trip. So you're going to get lined out with where and when you can change your money over and how much to bring.
Perfect. I had Peter asking, bring a standard 29-inch suitcase for stuff. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that, but
I see what he's saying. And that's really good advice. That our support vehicle is going to be an open faced, pickup truck. And we're going to have to maybe, load a bike on the back of that, depending on what happens. And it also has to carry all of our luggage. And so your luggage that you bring, make sure it's 100% waterproof. And the smaller, the better. And the computer cases and stuff can go in the cab.
Perfect. And then I had just one more anonymous question here, and then we can get rolling again into the Northern Patagonia portion of the webinar. Sounds like this guy's taken, a BMW 2-day off-road course in South Carolina, and he has some off-road experience. Would this be a good ride for him?
Yes.
All right, perfect. That's all we got for now. Thank you.
Okay, you guys, let's go to Northern Patagonia. First of all, let me show you kind of what we're up to. This itinerary I made myself. I'm really excited about this one. And we start in generally the same area, Osorno, Puerto Varas area. Excuse me. And what we're going to do is we're going to go around. We're going to go from Penguins way over on Chiloé Island, and we're going to go all the way up to the foot of massive glaciers in Argentina. And we're going to meander in and out of the Lakes District of Chile and Argentina. And it is very beautiful. And what I like about this trip is you got about 40% dirt surface. It's not as difficult as our end of the earth, but what it does bring is like more condensed in terms of extremes of climate, beauty, different types of microclimates. And if you like freshwater lakes and rivers and mountains and forests, this is and you don't want to do super long days, and you want to do side activities like river rafting, or you like to go horseback riding, or you just like to walk the streets for a day. The reason we call this an explorer is that it's got several places where you stay 2 nights. And so you have a free day. You could do the day ride with the guide or not. And I love this trip. I think you get to see and experience all the things that Patagonia has to offer, but it's going to be in more of a charming, civilized. It's also going to be rustic and just vibrantly scenic way. And let's go through some vocabulary that you will learn. Follow me on this one. Pirihueco, puñawil, ancud, petrowe, puyewe, tronador, araucaria, trafud. There will not be an exam on any of that, but you will go through all those places and see all those things. And you're going to see stuff like this. And this is pretty cool. This is the Chilean side. This is where you're going to start your trip. And it is cow country with conical volcanoes and huge, huge freshwater lakes. Love this place. You're going to be, these are your onlookers as you're slicing through flat farmland the first day or so. And this is an araucaria, otherwise known as a monkey puzzle tree. And it is a very rare tree. And you're going to be going through forests of them. And it's pretty cool. And you're going to see conical volcanoes. And there's nothing wrong with that. Your first port of call will be Puerto Varas. It sits on the lake of Yanquihue, and it's a really large freshwater lake. And to see this conical volcano, you get to ride right up to it, all the way up to, they even have a ski lift there. Kind of cool. And that's a nice little day ride. You get to check out Petrohue, which is an outflow of a massive freshwater lake. Excuse me. And this is just lakes and rivers and glaciers, oh my. And one of the day rides out of Puerto Varas is an awesome loop. And this is a trip of ferries. You're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 ferry passages. You're going to load your bikes on 4 ferries to continue the journey. And this is one day where you'll do that. And you'll get to the end of the Pan American Highway south of Puerto Montt. And then you load it on a ferry and you go across to a dirt road and it links back up to a nice loop. It's a full day ride. It's beautiful. It's intercoastal. It's, you know, ocean breezes and tranquil, cute little fishing villages, mountains all around, and dirt roads. Beautiful stuff. Stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nice day right out of there in Puerto Varas. And then we head from Puerto Varas all the way to the island of Chiloé. You have to take another transbordo ferry. And we have cabins set up right on this little beach here that you stay at. And there's a penguin colony down below that you can check out the following day. And it's kind of neat. Chiloé is known for its seafood and dwarfs and a couple other things. The dwarfs are lore. It's not that there's a lot of interesting local history that goes on there. But this is a nice little overlook, not a bad place to stay. And you are on the Pacific Ocean. Excuse me. And the next day, if you want, you can join a boat and go out with friendly people like this and go see some marine wildlife and even a penguin or two. And that is your Pacific Coast experience. We're literally right on it. Now, after Chiloé and its beautiful wooden churches and agrarian, like farmland, now we're going to head to the Andes. And the first thing we're going to do is, and one thing I did forget to say, is this is all about hot springs too. If you're in hot springs, you're going to like this. So head out. You're going to go right along the shore of Yanquihue again, that big freshwater lake. And we're going to go right into the Andes and stay at kind of a cool place that's right by some thermal hot springs. There's nothing wrong with it. This is the fancy one. There's one uptown and downtown, but all of it is natural. and stay the night there. And then the next day you go into Bariloche, and you're going to see scenes like this. And Bariloche is great. We stay there for 2 nights, so you get to really enjoy it. Excuse me. Bariloche is fun. It's known for its chocolate and, of course, its meat restaurants. And yeah, you're going to run into a St. Bernard on it because they don't call it the Switzerland of South America for nothing. And this is what it looks like. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a great day ride out of here. It goes to the foot of Tronador, which is a glacier. It's a very tall mountain with glaciers cascading off of it. If you want to, you can go river rafting out of there, and you can go horseback riding. But you can do the day ride as well, and you can bring your fly rod if you wanted to. And there's a road. It's only open one way in the first half of the day, and it's one way at the end of the afternoon, and it goes right to the foot of Tronador, and that is Tronador. And if you like natural, I don't know, if you like glaciers, you're going to like this place. It's beautiful. That's the Black Glacier right there. And there's your day ride. And then the next day, we start heading up through the Lakes District on the Argentinian side. You can swear that you might be in the American Southwest. It's quite arid on that side of the Andes. Super beautiful. They've got their gauchos running around doing their things. And this is Lake Traful. We go right along it part of the day. And it's just gorgeous. On one end of the lake, it's super arid. And on the other, it is forested, heavily forested. And that is the order of the day. You're on a dirt road in the back roads of the Lakes District, going through climates, negotiating traffic. And you stay in San Martin de los Andes for a night. It's a nice little quaint summer villa. And then the next day we go to Pirihueco. And this is a transbordo or a ferry that goes across the lake. And so literally you cross from Argentina into Chile on a ferry. And I got to say, it's kind of fun. And now you're in Chile again, and you haven't been in hot springs for a couple of days. So what are you going to do? What would you do? There's some funky little hotels in that area in Porto Fui. For those who've been there, you know what I mean. Uh, and there's some beautiful conical volcanoes with the monkey puzzle trees all around. Just majestic. And these back roads are a little rustic. Waterfalls abound. There's no lack of water down there. And you're on dirt surfaces. There's a hot springs we stop at. And then by back roads, we finish the loop and come back to the Puerto Varas Osorno area by dirt roads. And you will have traveled for 9 days with a group of international travelers, like-minded adventure lust. And you've seen the Lakes District. And that is going to be the last photo I show you of Osorno volcano in the background and a back road leading into great riding, great food, great wine, hospitable people. There's your presentation. Hit me with any questions.
Awesome. And the questions are rolling in here. First one here would be the from Carl. He's asking, would you say the riding in the northern Patagonia trip is less technical challenging than the southern trip? You maybe just answer that and then kind of linger on the differences between the two trips.
Yeah, you're gonna have dirt surfaces in both of them. You're not gonna have as long a days on the northern Patagonia, and it's not gonna be. I don't think it's technical in that you're not gonna be smacked by a side wind. It's basically country roads, so it's not as technical.
Perfect. Robert's asking, is there any night riding on either ride? Do you recommend, or is there a need for high vis riding jackets?
High vis is always recommended so that you're seen. Um, as for riding in the dark, we try to avoid that 100%. It's one more liability you don't need. I mean, there's been times where we had to, but we don't want to.
Yeah. David's asking if you could maybe show the slide with the map so they can get their bearings, maybe while we just burn
Let's
through the
do
rest
it.
of the questions.
Let's do that. Good idea. I do like that map that gets you your bearings.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay. Tim Temple here is asking, are the bikes equipped with panniers or any kind of luggage?
that's a good question. And yes, you're going to have side bags, and they're going to be waterproof. They're going to be 35 a liter, and you can carry all of your stuff on it. If you want a tank bag, bring it.
Perfect.
And then a lot of people will strap their own bag on the back as well.
I got Andre here saying that he does not have any off-road experience, but he would be willing to do an off-road course beforehand. Would that be enough? He has about 12 years experience on road riding altogether.
Yeah, so it depends on the rider. If you're an athlete and you do a lot of mountain biking, I don't worry about you too much if you're a skier. If you there's the thing that an off-road course is going to give you is just make you a safer rider. So everyone should take it. Everyone. And I took one after having been leading trips for a few years, and I wish I'd have taken one before. And there are several really good schools out there. And there's local ones as well that you can get a weekend and also get a bike included in the package. And all it's going to do is just make you a better, safer rider. So that's a must.
Perfect. And I got Murray in here saying he was on the Mongolia trip this year and he loved it. Appreciate that, Murray. Always nice to see MotoQuest alumni. Which trip would you recommend? It sounds like end of the earth, but wanted to confirm.
Well, that depends on you. Are you goal oriented? Do you like more of a challenge? Do you like to smell the daisies and check out different places and do different activities? Then the northern one is yours. But if you want a goal, you do the end of the earth. They're kind of different. It really depends on you.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
All right, perfect. And that's it for questions. Phil, do you have any closing remarks here before we end this webinar?
I don't. I just want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this. Forgive me for my little cold I have. Just dealing with that. But to all MotoQuest staff and especially you, Dax, for helping put this together. I just want to welcome you guys to South America. Go see it. It's beautiful and it's what you think it might be and even more. And the two itineraries that we offer are for different styles, different and types, and I hope one of them fulfills you. And don't hesitate if you have any questions to just ping us with an email or on our contact page. And we're excited. That's what we do here. We want to get you guys, we want to enable you to get out and explore. And this is a great corner of the world to do it. And again, thank you very much for joining this webinar.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for being here. Again, we appreciate your time and we will be following up with an email, like I said, where we will ask for a little bit of feedback. If you wouldn't mind just taking one more minute and giving us any feedback, positive, negative, we appreciate it. We're really excited about this webinar format and we're always looking to improve our game. So any feedback you guys can offer us to make this better in the future is greatly appreciated. So thank you all for coming and we'll see you next time.